me tell you something about this guy. So in sixth form, this guy would work tediously. Is that the right word?
Tedious, yeah, boring, but basically extraordinarily long hours but hard. Just
this guy would be working 7 a.m. Like, I think in sixth form common room 7, 8 a.m.
I am embarrassed you know that. I genuinely thought I was smoother than that. Clearly I wasn't.
But obviously, okay, back then everyone's like, oh, he's the guy working, he's the guy, look at him, nerd. As I said, like, how did you feel like you were perceived in sixth form? Quickly, if we're going to touch upon that, because we spoke before about it.
Sure. During sixth form, I don't know. I might have been perceived as either, I don't know, a timid character, I would have believed. I definitely feel like not kept to myself necessarily, but rather that I was just well known. I was well known for the fact that I work hard, and also that teachers genuinely liked my attitude and outlook on education and life.
Because the majority of people aren't like you, working hard, really know what you want. They would see you're different and they would say, oh, look at him, he's doing that. But now when it comes to the hard work pays off, and the one who secures the graduate scheme while everyone's got nothing else, well done on that as well.
Thank you ever so much, Atika.
Very proud. Now it's like, who's laughing now? Talk more about that.
So it's just, I don't necessarily chalk it down to, me being better than anyone. It's just, we're focused on on different things. Some people in sixth form, they don't really, they want to have as many friends as possible and stuff of the sort. And I've always put my education to a higher tier, a higher pedestal, if you will. Friends wasn't necessarily my priority, but that came as a result of me working hard. I had the flexibility to explore other options, to become friends with many people.
Because if we look back again, year 12, everyone just sitting around, they would enjoy the conversation and everything, and then, they would fail first year, and they retake another year. It's just like, maybe they've changed the attitude. At some point, they've grown up and said, I need to take this seriously now. So my question to you is, what from that age, because I was on my education, of course. I was possibly more like, I enjoy social as well. You were disciplined.
Yeah.
Why would you? What's in you? How do I say this? You know what I'm trying to say.
I think what you're trying to ask me is, what was the motivator behind your determination and your discipline?
Is it a household thing? Is it in you? Because your brother's quite motivated as well.
Yeah,
I know.
So it's a mixture of things. It's obviously the household helps. Your upbringing and where the teachings that your parents instill into you. That's really important. But I think another important thing is also being able to actualize that reality for yourself. So my mum and dad have always driven it into me and my siblings that education's important and that you should succeed in it. For it gives you
from a very young age. Yeah.
From a very young age, it's because it gives you more options, right? More doors are opened that way. But I don't think I properly understood the power behind determination, being focused and disciplined in your studies until I actually implemented it during the education sphere. Mostly because I really enjoyed the idea of getting a concept, knowing it intimately, and then being able to use it to understand the world better. And it could be in many different disciplines and in different forms. But so long as you can retrieve some information and then use it to the benefit of others or yourself.
Exactly, I think what you touched upon is knowledge is power. Why do people not want you to succeed? What is the reason? For me, if I was going to answer it, if you're both here or here roughly, and one person's up here, they're thinking, why are you up here? I want you to come down here with me. Do you understand? I think it's a jealousy thing. It makes someone feel better about yourself when on Twitter someone's getting slaughtered left, right, centre. People find it funny because look, their life's not that good. It makes them feel good about themselves. Underlying issues of that, if I bring you two both in, what is the reason?
I know the exact correct definition, dictionary, thesaurus reason for this.
Homework,
no, not even. It's just
2 hours late because he was trying about that.
2 hours. No, honestly, this is just just generalism, which I picked up over the years that I lived. It's all there underlining. It's all ego. So all of us, we all live with a ego, super ego, and this thing, I'm telling you, very malicious if not tamed. I feel like once you start to actually see someone doing better, you feel like, hang on, what did you do that makes you better instead of me? Okay, so that natural kind of like in frustration inside you, to see someone doing better. That's where the ego comes in. It starts to heat up, and then when it's especially when it's someone very close to you, then that ego, that hatred starts to magnify. Why? Because you're their friend, like you're this, you're so close to each other, you're like on the same level. So that's the whole thing.
Well, David, I'll bring you into that.
So
ego, true. Do you know what? It's really interesting. The idea of someone looking at you and being like, "Oh, why are you up there? You know, you should be down on my level." And it's ironic because in this life, and you know, many people can attest to this, I'm sure. In order to truly, help your friends out and bring them up to your level, you need to individually get to that level first. You can't just rescue another person if you don't save yourself. And the principle holds here.
I swear. Continue.
And the principle holds here. I mean, like, yes, you know, people can be like, why are you up there? You know, no, you know, and talk all the evil that is about your character, your person, who you are. But it's also important that, you know, such people recognize, I mean, it is an ego thing, isn't it? It is a jealousy thing. And if it's negative, but it can be positive. Remember, mentorship? When people are mentored or they look to another person, they see someone else that they've known that are succeeding so well, they can ask them questions like, how did you get there? I want to learn so I can get to your level.
100%.
It becomes positive.
It's a positive reinforcement.
If you feel like, you know, you're bad or you're less for making mistakes, then you say like, oh, I shouldn't be making mistakes or I shouldn't be doing that. But the harsh reality is you have to make mistakes to learn. If you say, I can't speak about this, like that thing you were speaking earlier, I didn't know about it. I'm like, what? I'm meant to sit here like, I understand what's going on. I was like, oh, can you explain to me what it is?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel.
See, I wanted to bring on that point. Things like that, learning, actually seeing instead of ego, hateful ego, being spiteful, actually seeing it in a positive reinforcement light. So this, I think, is a very rare trait, and I like to call it an alpha trait, alpha male trait. Actually, instead of saying,
have an episode on that.
Oh yeah, alpha.
Alpha is How to Get Girls coming out soon.
Oh yeah, I think, I'm not gonna lie, guys. The word alpha is gonna be like a keyword for me in 2021 for personal reasons.
Definitely.
But alpha, that's what I'm gonna say, guys. Anyway, like I said, this trait, just seeing others and having that really useful insights, getting all those insights, the positivity from it, the advice, how to do better, improve on yourself. That's how a man should actually act, instead of being like, oh, spiteful, trying to drag you down and stuff. But hey, that's it.
Honestly, I think everyone should take from that example. Everyone should be trying to improve themselves and become the best version they could be, because that's what you deserve in this life. You die someday.
Exactly.
You don't get to live forever. So you should try your best.
Every day is a new opportunity.
Every day is a new opportunity.
Try your best. Keep going. Stay strong.
Definitely.
Be like this guy.
They keep throwing.